What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Litecoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Here you are, sitting at about $130 now. 27 days, 19 hours left in the month. We have a fresh new month upon us, February here. Closing last month, January, 24% to the upside. Decent volume. Looks like a breakout move to me, man. It really does, right? You tested the waters in December. You didn't like the temperature. You waited till January, and the water was just the right temperature to get things started breaking out away from this zone here. So you're on your voyage. You're on your voyage to relatively new highs. High to low, I suspect that you're going to go to about 251 to 317. And that's great. That's exciting to talk about. It always is. You're at $130 now. But what's really cool is that Litecoin on a monthly aspect, with the fresh monthly close that we just had, we are now presenting a bullish cross in the monthly ribbon. Now, it's not confirmed. You have to get a green month to close to confirm it. But if this month does anything to the degree that I think it's going to do, before it's even closed, it'll look like some pretty solid confirmation that you're crossing here, okay? That's a very powerful, very bullish signal across the markets. The last time that you did something like this was over here. And whenever you started off that month, because you probably crossed at the start of this month, right? From there to the high, you moved up 372% in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So in 6 months from now, that would basically be what, August? 372%. Well, that takes you to new all-time highs, doesn't it? Yeah. So, I mean, by what, 300 and what was it, 72? 372, yeah. That'd take you above $500, man. Right under $600 there. Oh wait, 372. That takes you above $600 actually. Right at 600. Wow. Yeah. So that would be if you met up, you stayed consistent with the pace that you had last cycle when you had this bullish ribbon cross, okay? But I don't think you will. I think you'll actually pick up the pace. I think it's going to be a lot better, right? If we look at this cycle last time, okay? This was a nice bottom. This is what you call an Adam and Eve double bottom. Okay, it's a very nice bottoming pattern. It is a powerful structure, but you consolidated here for about this amount of time before you ran up, right? Here, you consolidated for this amount of time before you ran up. The longer you consolidate, not always, but generally, leads to more explosive breakouts, right? That makes sense. That intuitively should make sense. The longer you consolidate, the more explosive the move is, right? That generally makes sense. It's not always true. You consolidated for 2 months here, and that was a much more explosive move, I think, than this move was, and you consolidated longer. It's not always true, but it's a good rule of thumb to have. And this was a very long, healthy, effective range of accumulation, and you're getting a bullish cross right now, which is a powerful signal to say the least. Even last cycle where you didn't see new all-time highs, you still saw immaculate growth in a very short amount of time, okay? Which I would expect, you know, if you see that same growth here, I would expect you only see more, because again, that same amount of growth would take you to new all-time highs. But if you're going to be at new all-time highs by August, you're probably not going to stop there. From a high to a low, you'd be at 934, 1400, maybe higher than that, right? Whenever you break out of this, you're going to pick up the pace, okay? You're going to pick up the pace. It's going to be a breakout move. But if we look at LTC USD without the ribbons, whenever you break out of this multi-cycle triangle that you've been in, it's maybe not a symmetrical triangle, but ascending triangle like this thing, when you break out of this is going to be a powerful signal too. So if your minimum move, or not your minimum move, but if you were to copycat this based off of your ribbon crossing, just like you're doing here, and copycat that, and that takes you all the way up to $600, I would offer that it doesn't stop there. It would actually go higher. The instant that you really get above about $300 there on a monthly closing basis, you will likely see a very rapid move in a very short amount of time that takes you up to $934 to $1,400. Whenever you close a month above $300, you will see a very rapid move that takes you up to $934 to $1,400. Okay, at least if not 934, at a bare minimum 779. And and this is not end of cycle stuff. This is just the immediate move that happens relative to breaking out of this triangle, right? Like the immediate move that happens to this, we're expecting it to take you to about 251 to 317, somewhere in this zone, okay? But then once you break above about 300 on a monthly closing basis, you're going to get that next immediate move. It's going to take you up to this zone. Does that make sense? Okay. It's actually very, very similar lengths of moves too. And I would anticipate that you're up in this area probably, I mean, maybe as early as May, probably as late as August, but I don't think it stops there. I think that we have more cycle to go. I think the crypto cycle ends in November. So if it's August, September, October, November, maybe it ends later than November. It could end in December. But if it ends in August, or if this move, this next phase where you get to this part is in August of this year, maybe you consolidate for a month or two and then you have 1 month of a finale to end the cycle, and that could happen. If you're consolidating here and you have 1 month of a finale to go, if you're at $1,000, man, you could genuinely see a 2, a 3, a 5x in that amount of time, genuinely, because the finale phases do promote a lot of growth most of the time. Last cycle it didn't. Last cycle was lackluster, but the cycle before, when you were in your finale, your last 2 months from a low to a high, you saw an 8x, okay? 8x. And don't say, well, the market cap was lower. No, it was the same. It was the same exact price as last cycle. But you know what I mean? Last cycle was just lackluster. When you're in a strong cycle, and of course, up here the market cap will be higher. But I'm not calling for an 8x. I'm just saying when you're here, if this is where you consolidate at the latest August, and then let's say you consolidate until October, and then you only have 1 month of moving up to go, or 2 months at the least, I don't think it's impossible at all to expect $2,500 to $5,600 by the end of the cycle. That's all I'm saying, right? So I don't really know where else to go from there. Let's talk about some short-term stuff, and then we'll wrap up the video, okay? So on a weekly time frame, bullish as hell on your RSI. It looks phenomenal. We've been talking about this for a while, this little structure you have, higher lows here, bounced right off the 55, beautiful move, looking like you want to get overbought. When you get overbought on your weekly, that's likely when you'll pick up the pace as well. So I assume this week you do close above. It's not a brand new week. Ooh, it's not a brand new week. Day and 19 hours left. It's the weekend. Maybe you don't. Maybe I'm going to take that back. Maybe not. I don't know. If you can close above this week, if you can close above $135 by the end of this week in the next day and 19 hours, if you can do that, then likely this next week's going to be really good. Even if you don't, I suspect this next week to be good, but the next week would then be the week that closes above here, which would then imply that the following weeks are going to be good, right? But either way, tomato, tomato, man, this month of February is going to be phenomenal. I very much expect that your overall breakout move, will be in full effect once you close a given day or week above $135. When you do that, you're green lighted. You are immediately expedited to prices that are at anything from $250 to $317. And that's my expectation. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. It's completely normal, right? If I'm calling for a move up here, it's completely to be expected that you find resistance in your golden ratio zone. It doesn't have to be a straight move up. It can be a little bit more methodical, but I expect you're up in this area between about 320 to 250 by the end of February. If not by the end of February, very beginning of March, before the second week's over. And that's all I got for real this time. So hit the like button, you guys. Thank you all for being here. Subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Congratulations on the monthly cross, or at least the look of it. And it seems like you want to go up from here. And just, I'm very excited for the Litecoin community, guys, because we never know. We never know when this thing could just go straight ballistic. We're calling for the price to be here, but the reality is, the absolute truth of the reality is that you're more likely to exceed the expectations that we have than you are to not exceed them, right? Than you are to fall short of them, at least in my opinion. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased. You can't say that because I don't own any Litecoin. So, you can't say that, can you? I'm not biased at all. It's just my genuine opinion. Oh, I don't hold Litecoin, so my opinion matters less. Well, then what? I can't make you happy. It doesn't matter then, right? Whether I own it or whether I don't own it, I just can't be right about any of my calls, can I? So get over yourself. All right, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.